I was at a brewery drinking beer yesterday, and I just watched a school bus drive up and drop off a bunch of 20-something younglings to a brewery, which is the strangest thing. You know, to have a school bus come and drop off a bunch of people to go drink beer. But, you know.
You should.
I was like, that's kind of kick-ass to have your bus be a school. And I really have to say, first of all, I am a Chicago girl. I've been recently moved here, and I am pleased that I believe April 27th is the first time I will be on Austin radio.
Yeah.
I will thank Element 615 for that. And I just found out that I have my first feature thanks to Tom. I was looking at my past schedule because I ran Poetry Weeks in Chicago, and I had features like mad last year, and I have my first feature here thanks to Tom, and it happens to be on my 16-year wedding anniversary. So I'm going to do a lot of love poems. But anyway, I'm going to read 2 poems for you. This one, and they're both new, so... This one is called Eating Slices of White Bread. I know. I was at that university that I went to because it was so large. I knew that they were supposed to have the largest Greek system. Now, I have no way to check if that's true or not, but you'd think with that many fraternities and sororities, I'd have to pledge. But no, I was a little more interested in not being like everyone else and not finding a family of girls when all I ever wanted to do was get away from the idea of being in a family altogether. But I have to admit, with that many fraternities, there were a lot of places with a lot of liquor that were willing to liquor up us girls. So, my best friend was in a frat that was spitting distance from my dorm, so I'd go to their frat parties a lot. And I don't know, maybe I don't get that bond frat boys get, but at this frat house's parties, they always made a point to, at some point in the evening, to play that Elton John song, Crocodile Rock. When that song started, all the guys from that frat would rush to the living room / mock dance floor and start dancing with each other like gymnasts. Like they were in some totally nonsensical hazing thing. They'd do somersaults, they'd lock hands and feet with another frat guy, and they'd tumble across the floor. And at the time, I have to tell you, that was the strangest thing I ever saw grown men do. Whenever I was at a party with my friend and that song started, we'd lock eyes and we'd want to hide, you know, because my frat friend might be asked to join the gymnastics. And we'd make sure that we had our beer, and then we'd go to the only place that we thought was safe, the back of the basement in their industrial kitchen. We'd sit on stainless steel countertops and we'd eat generic slices of white bread, and not toasted, not buttered, just industrial bread slices. And we were happy with our bread and beer, waiting until that song would end. Another one. Oh gosh, I'm embarrassed to say this one. This is Jumping from the Mausoleum. When I was young, I sang at our church, and as a female teen, I was a little peeved that I could never become a priest. But as a teenager, with nothing to do, one night me and my friends went to the local cemetery. Once it got dark, brought along a couple of white sheets. Now, this was a small cemetery in a small town, and it didn't have high fences or gates. So we just walked into the graveyard at night, and we waited by the mausoleum until we saw a car coming around down that long road from a distance. That's when I'd get on the roof, throw a sheet over my body, and when the car would get closer, just as I was coming to make a turn near that cemetery, that's when I would jump to the ground in the darkness. My arms were out. I was covered in a white sheet. And we'd laugh, wondering if they thought they'd seen a ghost. I mean, this is what we did for fun, teenagers with nothing to do in the middle of the night. Oh, but my dad heard what had happened, and he asked me the next morning if I knew anything about what had happened at the cemetery the night before. I don't remember what I answered, but as far as I knew, we weren't doing anything illegal, and nobody got hurt. And it was kind of funny to imagine how those cars reacted, those drivers wondering what they saw when they were driving down a long road by the cemetery. I mean, did they see a spirit? Well, the church didn't want me for a female priest. I suppose it's for the best that the church wasn't suited for me. I had more fun making people look toward the dead and question what they see. Thank you.
Make some noise for Janet, ladies and gentlemen.